Greetings, everybody. This is Corey, your technical support for Lucas-Nuelle at the office in Virginia. Today I've got a video on the setup and walkthrough for the new CarTrain, the ASE L3 Diagnosis and Repair of High Voltage Vehicles trainer. So first we're going to walk through what you'll receive with the trainer. Then I'm going to go through how to set it up in order to activate ready mode for the first time. So in the box with the trainer, you'll have received a small cardboard box with some of the accessory items, as well as a hard plastic project case. So first, we'll go through what you get in the accessories box and what you'll need to actually get the trainer going. So first and foremost, you'll have your USB cable, which you will use to hook the trainer from here to your computer or laptop in order to communicate with the trainer. You get a smart key, which we're actually going to install on the trainer right here. Just slides right in. You have your measurement leads. There are a number of black and red safety leads here that you will use for making connections to the internal measuring tools. You've got some extra cutting loops for if yours get misplaced or cut. And then you will get a bag of these orange plastic little keys, and those are going to be for the low voltage disconnect on the trainer in order to reset it. So I'm going to put this to the side for now. Next is going to be your project case. So you will see there are two sides to the project case. This left side here is going to be all of the relay boxes. You will see them described as contactor boxes in the course. There are 3 sets of 2. They are different formats of relays. The difference between them it will go over in the course material. Essentially, to get the trainer going, you just need to put one in, any one. One thing to know about these is they do have a fault memory. So if at any point you load a fault on the trainer while on the relay box, that relay box holds that fault until it's cleared by fixing the fault. So just something to keep in mind, nothing you'll need to know for setup. On your other side of the project case, you have your mostly your faulty components, which are used for some of the work order experiments for the students to diagnose the faults on the trainer. So these cables, the fuse, this ground cable, those are going to be used for some of those experiments. You also get a spare smart key. There is nothing different from this key to the one on the trainer. And you have your measuring adapters. There are 2 of them, one for each of the cables on the trainer, and that just makes it so that the student can measure, can make measurements with the internal tools rather than having to back probe. And then you have a Phillips head screwdriver, which comes with the trainer. We will need this for the setup, so I'm going to keep this out. So, moving on to the actual setup of the trainer. So this is what it will look like when you unpack it. It should have the feet already on it on each side. You can just put it on a tabletop, or you can install it on a workstation if you've received a workstation with it. I will do a separate video on the workstations and assembly there. So for now, we're going to move on. And basically the plan is I would just like to go clockwise with you around the trainer and just show you everything that you need to do to put the trainer in ready mode for the first time. So on the back of the trainer is the power cable, just 120 volt AC power cable. Plugs into the side, and you'll have to plug that into the wall, which I already have done. Then you have, going up from here, you have your HV high voltage cables. So there is one here, one here. These have a locking handle that should be pressed all the way down on both sides. You will know if these are not installed all the way because they will be loose, or those handles will be pulled out like that. So basically just insert the cable, push the handle down. On the top here you have your emergency cutting loop. Both of these should be inserted into their respective ports. You have the low voltage disconnect like I was describing earlier. The way this should look is the black piece with the red clip should be pushed into the trainer, just like it is here. I'm actually going to zoom in on that so that you can see it. Give you a little bit better of a view of that. Okay. So yes, this should be pushed in on the side here. You have the high voltage fuse, which should just be inserted into the trainer like so. Your smart key should be in place. Going down on this side of the trainer, the relay contactor box will need to go in here, which we will do last because it takes a few steps to do so. Your high voltage disconnect plug should be inserted, and the black handle should be pushed all the way in with this little orange clip being pushed in. So when this is loose, this is what it looks like. Basically, you're going to push it in, black handle down, push the orange clip in. You have your 12-volt battery terminals here, which should be pretty snug on the terminals there. These are basically just quick disconnects. So if these come off, insert that on the terminal post and then push the plastic clip in and it will lock into place. You have your 3 potential equalization ground cables. These are secured with Phillips head screws on each side. Those should be tight. You shouldn't be able to move those. Your fuse hub here, this cover has 4 screws. All the screws should be in and tight. And on the inside, there should be 3 fuses with screws on each side, also tight. And then lastly, you have your AC compressor cable, which has clips on either side. These red clips go in and out. You want to make sure that the cable is plugged all the way in and that these clips are pushed back toward the trainer. So that is the last thing to confirm other than the relay. So I'm going to grab one of these relays here and we're going to go ahead and install it on this side. So essentially all you're going to do is take your Phillips head. You want to loosen up the screws on both sides of the cover. That cover pulls straight back. You see the 2 prongs here. There are 4 Phillips head screws which hold the relay box in place. There's a outlet on the back here that just plugs into the trainer. That should sit nice. And then we're going to put the screws right back in. Oh, I dropped one. Now you want to just torque these down just hand tight. You don't want to go too tight and then risk cracking the plastic. So we're going to put this last one in. Alright, and the cover can go back on. So like I said, those prongs are going to plug in right here on the left side. Should just go straight back. Install your last 2 screws. Alright. Zoom out so you can see everything here. Alright, now that everything is set up, we have a relay box in, everything is secure, so we can go ahead and push the on button on the trainer. And that will take a second to boot up, but by the time we see you'll see the logo, and then by the time we see the virtual instruments, the virtual cockpit on there, that will indicate that it is ready to go. Should just take a second. One thing I will note that I didn't point out before is just something to bear in mind when you're using the trainer. Your measurement leads or measurement ports are down here, which work with the internal measurement tools, your voltmeter, your oscilloscope in the course. And then you have an HDMI port here, which can basically blow up this big screen, or this screen onto a bigger screen. So you can plug this into a computer monitor or TV, and with the HDMI port, it will project this on the bigger screen. So now that the virtual cockpit has come up, I'm going to go ahead and start the trainer. And sometimes that happens. I'm going to start the ignition. It'll say hello, and then to put it in ready mode, just like you would with a real vehicle, press the brake, press the ignition. As you can see, ready mode is active. There are no faults. So we are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off with the start-stop button. And that is it. So that is the full setup for when you first receive the trainer. Hope that was informative. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If you go to our website, on the Contact Us page, there is our phone number. Feel free to reach out, and we would be happy to give you a hand.